Thank you so much, Mahesh, for hosting us to your Bungoma home. We love to really believe that your house is very big.
Thank you very much. You are most welcome.
So, Mahesh, tell us more about the political wave. How is it taking you?
Yeah, from where I sit, I think we are very well because I have the drive, I have the focus, I have a plan, and I am the people's project. I am not a puppet of anybody because when you are a project of a clique of people, they will hold you at ransom. Even when you are forming your government, they will try to twist you to appoint people who may not necessarily merit for the positions in terms of assisting you deliver on your vision. So when I began this journey, I was determined. I knew that political formations would come late, you know, after the parties have done their primaries. Of course, individual members of different political formations will rally behind the candidate, the flag bearer for gubernatorial on that particular party. And of course, the recent meetings about leaders from Goma hearing to endorse somebody, it has not gotten me with surprise. It was expected, because of very many things. But the fact remains that even when you ask 70% of those leaders, they will tell you that I have sacrificed. I've been there for all the team. When the Tower movement was coming up, of course, they made serious attempts to also colonize Bungoma County, and I think I was there on behalf of the whole team. You know, I have made some enemies in the name of Atembea, because many times I will intrude in their meetings, lecture them, but because I had support of the people would cheer me up. They would give me some kind of latitude or insurance to lecture them in whatever language that I think was appropriate at that time. I was doing so not because they are my competitors, but because they were fighting this with one of our principal in Kenya, Speaker of the National Assembly, and I was really out to ensure that the influence, if any, for the Speaker of the National Assembly in Bungoma remains intact. And because I'm their foot soldiers, I'm their army, they are our generals, I felt like I should be there for members of our team,
So
including
by
our
team,
individual,
for Kenya.
the whole of Kenya. Most of us were in the coalition who are supporting our beloved president. And even our individual members of parliament have been there in Tongaren, where the Kawe movement was positioning herself, as a movement of the present and the future. They wanted to plant a candidate, against our own Secretary General of Kenya. I was there for him. I was there in Webuye East. I was there in Kandui, and I have sacrificed and made a few enemies because I was fighting for them. But their change of allegiance to whatever has happened, I don't really blame them, and I am not bitter about it. I will pray for them. It is their democratic right to decide whom they are supporting. But again, it's still too early because parties will do their primaries, and whoever the parties will front for various positions every single member of those parties will automatically lie behind that candidate. That is why I have made a decision that I will not fight those who do not support me, because politics is dynamic. Today, you are supporting this person, tomorrow, you change your allegiance to the other person. And as a governor candidate, I will have a responsibility to ensure that I become the fulcrum, the engine of campaigns for the party that I will fly her flag. And by so doing, then it leaves you with one principle that I may not try to weaken a person who is not supporting me now. Maybe it will be my responsibility to make him strong
Speaking of that,
after some time.
speaking of that, what is your current relationship with Honorable Speaker Mrs. Wanyonyi?
My relationship with the speaker, Mr. Wetangula, is very cordial. Uh, have a close personal relationship with him, very enriching. He has been supporting me hitherto, and I will continue to defend him as Speaker of the National Assembly. I will also continue to defend him and support him as a principle of Kenya Kwanza, but I will find it so difficult to defend him in his position as party leader of Fort Kenya, because majority of his troops, members of the county assembly, members of his party, including the Secretary General of his party, Robert Murumba's party, and the chair of the Bungoma County branch, the chair of the Women League, they seem to prefer a different candidate apart from myself. And I think common sense will tell you that if you want to go far, not just in terms of politics, even in relationship, you stay with a person who's happy about it. Don't waste time with a group that appear to be tolerating. You sit, dine with a group of people that are glad that you are in their meetings, people who celebrate you. And there's a singer from Blue Nyanza that sang a song to me that pendana na mwenye anapenda. Yule hakupendi, wachana naye. That is the principle. And I think from where I see and where I stand at present, the love that I experience from the people of Bungoma, from all the 9 constituencies, when I visit them, when they hear that I'm coming, they turn out in large numbers. It means I inspire hope in them, and that when they see me, they see an individual who will hold their hand and match. I represent fresh breath, and at least because somewhere when I began, of course, I've been told, I've been largely informed that a clique of people who don't support me, they don't support me just because of just the fact that I'm very young, I'm young, you know, on record, the country should know that since independence in 1963, I have been the youngest person to be elected member of parliament in Western Kenya since independence. And when I came in and won the seat on a less popular party called Jubilee in 2016, I opened doors for very many young politicians because of my track record here. And I've been told that those who do not support me, They don't want to support me because they feel they are my seniors. They think I'm their junior, which I agree I'm their junior because they joined politics even when I was still in primary school, and they are jealous of my political project. If you look around the politics of our country, you will realize that I am among the very few members of parliament, and maybe five or even three that have maintained strong grassroots support from the day we were elected to date. And that kind of makes them a bit envious of my rising political star. And the fact that I went ahead of them to declare that I want to run for governor of Goma, and somehow the people of Goma received that news with jubilation. So they feel like they have to pull me down.
Yes, back to Honorable Speaker. Back then we used to see him supporting you so much. Even everywhere you were going here in Bogoma, he was with you, even the president. Now that Honorable Tim Wanyonyi, who is also Professor Catholic brother, is vying for the same position that you are vying for as for the seat of Bungoma governor, do you think Honorable Moses Speaker still supports
You know, like they say that blood is thicker than water, and also, because politics can divide families, and I would not be that kind of a person. I would be happy to see the rectangular family split in terms of some are supporting me, others are supporting him, and maybe put the horrible speaker most rectangular in a very precarious position. I will give them an option to meet themselves together by assisting them to make a decision that if the whole brigade of Fort Kenya feels like I am not the right candidate, uh, because I can't force myself to them to their party. So if they feel like uh, I'm forcing myself to them and that I may want to appear like I want to put them on a collision course to divide their attention, I can give them an opportunity then to field him and his brother. But of course, I've had, I've had him say that he doesn't want to associate himself with the name Angular. But that is their family name. And with me, I have reached point of no return. I have the support of the people, even before I have haven't said spell out my manifesto with people of Goma. That one will come at the right time. So with me, I am focused because when I made a decision that I want to be the governor of Goma, the only person that I consulted was my wife. That we are all in sync because she has supported me throughout. So I made a decision, and then of course I have my team who are just local people, around 800 people that we convened. We had a discussion. We looked at many factors, and I managed to persuade them that I have what it takes to match forward insofar as the electoral position for Bungoma is concerned. And to me, that is all I need.
Yes,
Maybe you
as you are.
when you made a decision to be woman, of course there are some few things that you saw and you do. Maybe if given a chance, give that chance, of course for the income. What should you do? That's one thing that you start with. Of course, I don't want to be sana kugoma. Vitu ambavyo ungependa kufanya. Na yeye kugoma na what you What should you do?
Before I answer your question, I am prepared to face off with anybody. Because I believe I have the brains, I have the track record, I have the will, and I have the support of both God and the ordinary citizen. I have remained a front runner for a very long period of time. And my political competitors, those who are afraid of my candidature for their own reason, to the sectarian reason that may not make sense before the people of Ngoma. They have tried, at one given time, even the governor of Ngoma was not supporting me. And the entire government system, I'm not sure if they have changed or not, but I will continue to persuade everybody, regardless of their rank and file in society. But they have tried, they have brought about close to 6 candidates, and they have all fizzled out. Even the one that they have brought a few days ago, I am sure they may abandon that project because that group of people seem to be very good in monitoring and evaluation. That once they launch a project, they do monitoring and evaluation. If they realize that that project is not viable, they abandon it midway. It remains a white elephant. They could take another one. With me, the train left the station. In terms of what I will do for the people of Ngoma, I will tell the people of Bungoma on what I will do for them next year, the month of May. But what I want them to do now is that I want them to begin evaluating me in terms of how I have utilized the 100 million from CDF that we receive as a constituency. For your information, and I want to go on record, you cannot compare any constituency in Nairobi with a rural constituency in terms of development. I can give you an example. A constituency like Westlands has less than 10 schools in the entire constituency, less than 10 schools. Kimilili constituency, we have a combined school population of 126. Kanbui constituency, we have more than 200 schools. And we receive the same amount of CDF. So you will be wrong. It will be foolhardy to compare how a member of parliament in a city constituency has utilized the same CDF, and you are comparing him with that constituency like Kimilili or Kandui or Tongaren or anyway, any part of the country. I say so because I have been a member of parliament for this constituency for 8 years. Within 8 years, I've revolutionized the schools, which I will invite you after this meeting. You can move around and check. I have done magnificent 52-story buildings. We have built schools from scratch. Yeah, the school like Nakalira, where we relocated the school to a new site and put up the whole school of 14 classrooms and administration. School like Rajamungu Primary School. And even as we speak today, we have also begun to tile all our primary schools, do landscaping, put cabro, and face out the buildings that were built in 1960s and 1970s. You will take a tour to see for yourself. So if you were to divide the number of years that I've been member of parliament, if you were to divide the number of schools that are built for the last 8 years with the number of years that I've been member of parliament, then you will realize that maybe in a year I've built like 20 schools in a year. But if you were to divide the 9 schools of, like for example, in Westlands constituency, divided by the 15 years where the member of parliament has been, then you will realize that that member of parliament, if you were to mark his exams and you are his teacher, you will simply write down there that please see me with both your parents on Monday morning in the staff room. This is a truth that should remain. That being said, I was already aware, in politics is not different with when you go to war as an army. When you go to war as an army, the people you begin with, you might not finish with them. Some can die along the way, others can surrender, some can be captured by the enemy, and then you may have a new team and a fresh team that you can come together and move forward. So I was already prepared as a trained military person. I was already aware, and I have a manual on how to deal with the candidates who will emerge, considering that the seat for governor of Bungoma is not a reserve of a particular, not for me, not for anybody else. It's a seat that anybody who qualifies can declare to run for it. But just for a preview of what I intend to do for the people of Bungoma, if you walk around my constituency, you will see for yourself. Of course, there have been had propaganda. Whoever that has an issue with you will continue to have an issue with you regardless of how you look like. If you are slim, some will accuse you of being slim. The same people will accuse those who are fat that they are fat. Whether short, whether tall, people will find something somehow to punch so that they can slow you down. And that is how politics is played in our country. So we have some who have tried to water down my development record. Of course, number one, they agree that I have revolutionized the infrastructure in education and efficiency. I have built magnificent story buildings. But then they reach a time they say, oh, those story buildings are condemned, they are substandard. You will walk there and see the substandard in them. You will actually be shocked that those are just statements by my political instructors to be able to make the people of Bungoma to turn against it. They came up with a narrative that because both the first and the third governors come from Kimilili constituency, they came up with the slogan that Kimilili is not a quarry where governors are harvested. Of course, I explained to the people of Bungoma that being born in Kimilili was not my mistake and was never my decision. It was the decision that my mother made when she got married to my father, who happened to come from here. That's why I was born from here. If my mother could have been married in Bungoma town, I could have been born in Bungoma town. And even those people who were trying to accuse me that the reason why I am not qualified to be governor of Bungoma is because I was never born in Bungoma South, Bumula or Sirisia or any other part of Bungoma. Even them, they were fully aware that they were born where they were born because of the reason of the man. If their mother decided to get married in Masai, hopefully they would be the one jumping hero for the tourists in Masai Mara. So that slogan would not work. So they try to put roadblocks ahead of me. But that is the nature of politics. and I am committed. I have the will of the people. I am the people's project. And the advantage that the people's project enjoy is that when you are privileged to form government, the people you will appoint as chief officers, as CECs, the people who will benefit from the tenders that will be advertised in your government, they will all be available for everyone. Anybody within the territories of the county of Ngoma will have an equal chance of being appointed CEC, being appointed chief officer, and they also have an equal chance to win the tender that will be advertised, because nobody will hold you like a puppet to mean you are our project, you have to give this person a tender, you have to appoint this person. So to me, I say, I have the energy and I'm very happy to be the people's